And thank you for tuning in today for another great conversation. I have a very special guest on today, Lee Anderson. We will be sharing with us about volunteering, more specifically, volunteering in Cambodia, which is a sector that has been growing quite a bit. I was actually connected to Lee through her daughter, Kimmy Anderson from Travel Giver, who I just did an interview not too long ago, actually. So make sure you check that episode out. We're going to be talking about her new book, Unsung Heroes, Cambodia. Very catchy title. So we're going to be asking more about that a little bit later. Her book is actually very unique because it has a blend of stories and really cool pictures about different projects in Cambodia. So without further ado, let's welcome Lee Anderson from Australia. Hello there, Lee. How are you doing today? I hope you had your coffee, because I know it's pretty early in where you are right now.
Yeah, it's very early in the morning. I've got my coffee beside me, and it's great to talk to you, Dominique.
Thank you for coming on and sharing your story. So before we forget, I would love to get your thoughts on the title of the book. I mean, it's a really catchy title, so share with us how, the inspiration for coming up with that title.
Well, Unsung Heroes, there are so many great volunteers out there doing fantastic work, and we often never hear about it. And there are a lot of non-government organizations struggling away to make a little bit of money to help the people all over the world, and in our case in Cambodia, although the stories of volunteers across the world are parallel, really. So Unsung Heroes is the story of these people and what they're doing to help others in countries such as Cambodia, where they really have been decimated in the 70s, and it's taken a long time to recover.
That's great, and I think you and your daughter Kimmy Anderson, I mean, you guys are my unsung heroes because you're taking the initiatives to really not just helping one charity or projects, but multiple projects. So quite a team that you guys are there.
That's right. Well, thank you for that. Yes, the book is really designed. It's a book about volunteers. It's by volunteers. We're volunteers. The book is not for profit, and it's for volunteers. And we're hoping to bring attention to those particular stories in the book. And there are 40-odd stories singing the praises of these fantastic projects, which we've had to research very carefully, because there are, as you have probably known, you've dealt in this area, good and bad projects.
Yeah, let's kind of circle back a little bit. I just wanted to see if you can share a little bit about yourself. I know you have a business in Australia. I think it's a walking tour, if I remember correctly. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how did this journey begin of you, going out abroad and volunteer?
Well, what happened, in actual fact, I did have Rocks walking tours, but now, would you believe it, I have a pub, which I've inherited, and I run in a tiny little village called Tea Gardens in New South Wales. And the journey for me was going on a trip with my daughter, with Kimmy, and we just went to see what we could find and felt very lucky in our lives. We thought, gee, there's a chance to help in some way. Let's go find out how we can help. And I found that journey of finding out quite difficult, summing up where there were projects that I could help, what sort of projects I needed to help, what my skills were in order to help. And as I traveled around Cambodia looking at these projects, I started to get a real feel for what made a good project, what made a bad project, and what sort of help people needed.